Hi gamers, it's me. How you doing? In this video, I'm gonna be showing you, or I guess maybe persuading you and hopefully maybe giving you some motivation to learn the difficult route for the Winter Wonderland jumping puzzle that is part of the Wintersday festival in Guild Wars 2. I hated jumping puzzles for a very long time. I got very frustrated at them, especially if I was doing them alongside somebody, because they would be a lot more adept than I, make the jumps and essentially just stand waiting for me, watching me fail. And that was incredibly difficult for my ego and self-esteem. But I have grown a lot since then, and I really enjoy jumping puzzles now. I don't mind doing them. It's something that I think progression, as trivial as jumping puzzles may be, progression is actually really rewarding when you actually learn how to do a jumping puzzle. So reason number one why you should be doing it this year is that with the new Wizard's Vault, being inside of the instance as the timer at the top of the screen gets to 0 counts as participating in an activity. So 2 stones with a bird or something. Another reason why you should go specifically for the harder route is that it is actually quicker. If you're new to Guild Wars or the Wintersday Festival, there are 3 different routes which can all be identified by the little mascots that are at the starting entrance, or the buff on your buff bar that will tell you which one that you're going for. The Quaggan route is leisurely, which is considered the easy route. The Snowman route is adventurous, which is considered the medium, and the Gingerbread route is intense and considered hard. If you've never been to the jumping puzzle, or if you've never encountered it, or if you are new to Guild Wars / the Wintersday Festival, welcome. And if you've already rage quit because you feel like you can't do it, don't worry, you will be able to, I promise. I'm going to give you some tips on how you can train yourself to get better at being able to do it consistently. So, if you're new to the jumping puzzle, a few things that I want to just point out. 1, the jumping puzzles are different in terms of their route and length, as I'm about to show you, up until a certain point. Once you reach bonfire, that's on the, I don't know what Americans call it, but the mint looking candy things, the same as what you're currently standing on, if you're looking at the video. Gosh, I wish I could articulate myself, but we move. Once you get to that bonfire where Tix is waiting and your health refreshes and you're waiting for the gifts in front of you to respawn, from that point onwards, the jumping puzzle is the same no matter what difficulty you are starting on. On the easy route, the snowflakes are permanent. On the medium route, they start to disappear after a few seconds. And on the difficult route, the snowflakes start to disappear approximately 1.5 seconds after the first person has touched it. Another reason why you should learn specifically the hard route is that it's quicker than the other 2. Not by much when comparing it to the medium route, but it's significantly quicker, I'd say, than the easy route. Obviously, until you are able to consistently complete the difficult route, it's probably quicker to do the others, but I really encourage you to get into it and give it your best shot. For the rest of this video, it's going to be footage of my run, and I have gained some new tech so that you can see my WASD and spacebar input as I'm going through this jumping puzzle. The way that I approached this is a number of years ago during the Wintersday Festival, I would do the easy and the medium route for the achievement or the daily, and then I would spend about 5 to 10 minutes completing the difficult route as best as I could. If I didn't get it, that's it. I leave, I don't get frustrated, I don't get flustered. And then I came back the next day, another 5 minutes, just trying, and eventually I got it. Eventually you get to that bonfire and you're like, holy fuck. And then you get hit by a snowball and then you get reset. But the consistency is the really important part. It was the same process for me with the Mad King's Clock Tower Halloween jumping puzzle. Just a little bit of practice every single day. Eventually it's just gonna click. And the number one piece of advice that I can give you is always hold down the W key. I'm pretty much holding it down the entire way, and I do it the entire way pretty much on all 3 of the courses now. So if you're still doing the easy and the medium, just try it by holding down the W key. Try to challenge yourself to not take your finger off the W key, because it's that momentum that you need in order to successfully complete the difficult route. And if you get used to that on the easier ones and you sort of, understand the distance that you're able to get with your jumps whilst holding down W the entire time, you're going to have a much easier time transitioning into the hard route. So first tip is, if someone is there before you and they've started jumping, just wait. Wait for the snowflakes to respawn. You don't need to rush quite yet. As they are respawning, the first one is going to respawn in front of you, and the second snowflake isn't going to be there yet. Just trust that it's going to respawn, because it will. This will be something that you'll learn with time. And like I say, I'm holding W the entire time. I'm using A and D, usually to try and reposition myself either into the middle of the snowflake or towards where is the closest point of the current snowflake to the next one, so that I am reducing gap as much as possible for my next jump. These candy cane parts coming up, these are about the only places where I will stop holding down W, just because if you have too much momentum, you're gonna over jump and miss them again. These candy canes in the difficult route do also despawn, so you can't just stand and wait and let your anxiety diminish. There are a couple of snowflakes that can be safely skipped here, and then once you're here at the mint candies, it's exactly the same. At this point in the jumping puzzle, I had a lot of difficulty because I was going all over the place trying to find, I thought there was a specific route, but it's not. It's literally one gift gets triggered and it explodes, and it kind of causes this chain reaction. So you, once you started moving, again, you kind of just have to commit. I'm just going to show you the middle route, which I take every single time. Once you've jumped onto the blue box, jump up onto the next one, but do not hold W. There seems to be a gap here that you can fall down, and it's very heartbreaking when that happens. But then once you're on the next one, you can pretty safely, at least from experience, hold down the W key until you're walking and colliding with the box in front of you, and then just jump up from there. I've paused it a little bit again here. So you see this snowman on the right. I've looked at my hand because I don't know my left and right. The snowman on the right, there is going to be a gust of wind that blows from him to the left side of the screen. If you get hit by that, you're going to get knocked over and probably knocked off the platform back to the beginning. You can either wait for that gust of wind to end and wait for the red circle AoEs to disappear just to be safe, or you can try to dodge through it onto the candy cane log thing that comes afterwards. And then from here, you just want to make sure that you're not being hit by the snowballs and avoiding all of the red AoEs that are like icicles dropping, because they will knock you down, and then if a snowball grabs you, it's just going to push you all the way back. This snowball can be dodged through to essentially speed it up, should you wish to. It's very risky. I've only actually managed to do it a couple of times. A lot of the time I don't even bother. I've made it this far, why would I risk it? If you see someone running ahead, it's because they ideally know how to consistently do that. Don't just follow them like a lost puppy, because you will probably get hit by the snowball and die. Same thing here, wait for the snowball to pass. Wait for the AoE to disappear. You can see this peepo did not, and then they ended up getting knocked back. Thankfully, if you get knocked back on this part, you're only getting knocked a parallel position. You don't get knocked off entirely. You can recover from that. There is a candy there that is safe to stand on should you wish to. I'm going to pause again here because these blue boxes, whilst you are out of the way of the snowball, the red AoEs of the icicles that are dropping onto the little walkway, they can hit you if you are on this big blue present. So do not stay there for too long. Just be mindful of that. And at this point, you can kind of take your time a little bit more, pause between jumps, but honestly, just don't think about it too much. And there you go. Don't forget to grab your loot. If there are any other hints and trips, if you have any other hints and ticks, oh my god, can I speak please? If you have any other hints or tricks, feel free to leave them in the comments below. If you want to be super helpful, you can even add a timestamp for people to pause if you want to highlight something specific. And yeah, this is just me kind of flailing around. I don't really know what happens here. Oh, I just get nicked by the icicle, which is kind of very annoying. And this is what happens when you get hit by the snowball. A lot of the times they will continue to hit you and just kind of like continue to push you backwards to the point that you get knocked off entirely. But because this is not the traditional route, there was actually a safe spot for me to stand up. and then I went on an adventure just to see what was down here. I hope this video helped, and do not feel disheartened if you can't get it right away. Practice little and often, and I promise eventually it's gonna feel so seamless and so easy, and it's just gonna come naturally to you, and you're gonna do great, I promise. I hope this video helps, and thank you for watching.